Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. It seems like some more news is coming out from Maui. They seem to be having, I don't know, I guess meetings trying to find out, trying to get people's heads together and see what it is exactly that they're going to be doing with all the people that have been displaced with the fires and the ones that they've lost. It seems like the powers that be, they're really pushing hard to move the people, the survivors, off of Maui. And in my opinion, this seems more and more just like a total land grab. But before we continue, thank you to all the subscribers and everyone checking out my content. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it. I'm going to show you some clips here, and then if you bear with me towards the end, I came across a video that's kind of interesting. I came across it yesterday. I've only seen it. I haven't seen anybody else use the footage. And there's something interesting in it that I think you guys should watch. But without going any further, let's check this out.
My name is Gary Cordery. Lived here in Oahu since 1980. Father, grandfather. This is an emotional meeting. Nani, you mentioned a moment ago, this is not about Maui. This is absolutely about Maui.
And just quickly, I'm sorry about the volume. It's not me. It's this recording that I'm getting it from. So.
And my concern, and I'm actually speaking to each of you sitting around this table. Each of you have a placard representing an organization. And I have a question before I actually have my testimony. By a raise of hands, are any of you participating in an event, in a restructuring as a stakeholder on Maui at any level, whether you're state, federal, private, or a private citizen? Are you engaged? Are you a stakeholder? Are you written? Is your name listed as a stakeholder of any of the redevelopment plans regarding a smart city? By a raise of hands, I would like to see a raise of hands. Because the information is out there. Raise of hands. I can tell you, Department of Planning, DLNR, DBED, Housing, all of these agencies, and I'm not saying to you directly, but you're here representing these agencies, therefore, it is your responsibility to tell the truth. Each one of these agencies have signed on as stakeholders for the redevelopment of a smart city in Maui. I'm asking you again, who is signed on?
So, I'm sorry, but I asked for testimony pursuant to the agenda, and there's nothing...
Okay. Right there's the pushback. Yeah, I did a little research, and supposedly, so far, about $46 million has been collected from like 44 different countries to as far as like donations to give to Maui. Jeff Bezos, I know nobody wants to hear his name. I know I don't. But supposedly him and his wife or his foundation, whoever it is, that they claim that they're going to give $100 million. Now, what baffles me is that there's so many people on the ground saying that they're not being helped. So after doing some research about the money that's being collected, it was put on one of the Hawaiian news networks, as a matter of fact. If you read any of the articles, it'll show the entities that have been taking that money, and it just seems like there's too many hands in the cookie jar. And I don't think that what they're doing, in all honesty, is in the best interest of the people that are suffering. And I'll tell you why. When you have too many entities trying to take a piece of the pie, you're going to end up with another situation like 9/11. When 9/11 happened, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars was donated worldwide. People that had lost so much, and no offense towards firefighters and first responders and policemen, a lot of that money went to those families. People that I know that suffered, they never got a penny. And when you have too many entities, and like I said, I have nothing against police officers, firemen. I think they're brave, what they do. I mean, just like the military, EMS, whoever's there to help somebody out, I respect them. So there's no knock against them. But when you have too many entities trying to take all that money that's collected, that's supposed to go to the people that have been affected, this has the makings of another scenario like what happened with 9/11, with all the money that was collected worldwide to help the people that have suffered. And right away, this lady comes and she wants to say, well, this is not what the meeting's about. So then what's the meeting about? But I'll show you what the meeting's about.
And if this is just a money issue for you guys, get out of your seat, please. Nani, you speak about talking to the people. Hold a meeting in Lahaina Civic Center or wherever they have room for, and hear the people, hear their stories, hear their heartbreak, hear their demise. You can turn that off because I'm not going to end until I end, and I'm not being disrespectful. You cannot limit the people's voice to 3 minutes. This is devastation. From the day that fire went on here in Honolulu and all the other islands, the people are the ones who got the donations to them. The water, the food, the clothing. Guess what? Coast Guard, FEMA trying to stop us from going in, while the people inside Lahaina is suffering.
And that is true. I got some of this footage from Cinema Shogun, but that is true. I mean, there's people on the land, the natives saying how they were being turned around. People that were coming in with insulin, for the diabetics, they were being told because it didn't pass, any of their checkpoints or whatever the case is, or, any of their liking. And you have all these people donating money, and yet is going already into organizations saying we're going to help. But what happens when that happens? When that takes place, everybody needs to get paid first. So it's like we'll take 80% because our time is valuable, and then we'll take the rest and then we'll allocate it and put it into another program, and then you got to sign up for that program. It's like, no, that money should be dispersed to the people that are still alive. I mean, is there a possibility of people trying to run a scam? I get it, how they need to, be careful with that. But who's running the scam first, in my opinion? It's like I've said before, it's not like Hawaii is connected to the mainland. It's not like people are coming in, driving in from different states every time there's a catastrophe, a hurricane or a tornado hits or whatever the case is, that they want to go and commit fraud to collect money. No, this is money that's being given by people in the public, from all around the world. Okay? And instead of them letting these people back into their territory, they won't even do that. They want to displace them and put them somewhere else. But you'll hear what she needs to say, and trust me, she is speaking louder than every other person that's been involved, every politician, everybody that's been involved put together. But let's continue.
Yes, we found other ways to get them there. And I could go on and on with the people who showing themselves on social media. The celebrities, the president. Come on. He couldn't even pronounce names correctly. Why was he here? A photo op? Or truly for the people? You folks here should be asking the people what they need. Not
Facts.
the representatives sitting in state legislature. The people.
What kills me, I'm sorry for cutting this so quick, look at all these people sitting down. These are the ones that are supposed to be representing different entities. Okay? All these people. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, probably 24, 25. Let's just say that there's 2 for each entity. That's 12 different entities that are sitting at this table. Let's say that's 3. Okay? That's 8 different entities. Either way, why are all these people here? And yet the people that are suffering are being told they only have 3 minutes to speak. This is not a round table to help the people. This is just, in my opinion, okay, I'm not going to speak for them. I don't know what goes on in their hearts. In my opinion, this is just a round table to make it look good and answer them with the and thank you, and we're taking that into consideration. What more is there to take into consideration? But let's continue.
Unfortunately, and I'm going to read this real quick, and this goes to the housing authority. Local authority housing or council housing is housing you can live in that is owned by the local authority. No, it should be owned by the people.
There you go.
You have to apply for local authority housing. Your council will assess your needs and decide if you are high priority. Every person in Maui is a high priority right now.
You believe that? They're going to check and see if who's high priority. Excuse me? Maui, 80%. I don't know the whole demographic of Maui, but whatever that section was that they said it was, I think it was 5 miles or something like that, 6 miles. That's a big area to put a lot of people. Every single person, every person, every business from ground zero out that got affected, everybody is high priority. Every business, every person, every family that has been lost, every child, again, we'll say it again, everything, everyone is high priority. And it's disgusting to have these people go and fill out paperwork. I'm surprised they're not asking people to show proof of the property that they owned, because chances are they had all that paperwork probably in their houses. But let's continue.
There is tons of land in Maui. Why move them to the Big Island? Now you stress Big Island people. Now you take away from Big Island people. There are Maui people who came to Honolulu. I have a friend in here right now, Jessica, who housed Maui people. But yet,
see, that's what they want. Move the people off of Maui, Honolulu, Big Island. They're trying to displace them while they're putting up barricades around that whole area. And then you got entities like BlackRock and Vanguard and them coming in, assessing the damage. You got real estate agents coming in trying to, force the people to sell their property, pennies on the dollar. You got all this money coming in that's supposed to be for the people. You would think they would give it to them. You would think, like she's going to explain now. I'm not trying to, steal her words. But you'll see she makes a good point. Where are the boats? The shipments of lumber, metal, concrete, whatever it is that they need to start building. But let's continue.
we got no help. We got no help from the government. But that's how we do in Hawaii. We help. We take care. Correct. As El said, malama. Please don't make this a job, which all of you obviously have, without, besides those that are really trying to fight for the people. Make this your mission to get these people back on their feet. There's been lots of so-called celebrities saying that they're giving $100 million, all these millions of dollars. Where's the money? The money should not be going into Hawaii Community Foundation or any other foundation. That money should be going directly to the people. Do you know?
Exactly. And like I said, the news report that I seen, it's like, all this money's coming in. So far, 46 million. It's like, that's a lot of money that should go right back to the people, but is being dispersed. And that's what always happens, that whoever goes in, they push the people away from helping with all the free stuff that was being donated, and then FEMA says, no, we got this. Red Cross says, no, we got this. We don't need what you're sending in. But then they want to be reimbursed first. And then you send it, like she said, you send it to different foundations, and then the foundations say, well, we know best on how to disperse it among the people, but yet they're all still out there, still homeless, still grieving, still trying to find family members. Funerals haven't even begun, from what I know. Who pays for all that? Who's going to help them? Let's continue.
You know that with that $100 million, you can bring in lumber. And all the people who lost their homes, I guarantee you, majority of the men were construction workers.
There you go.
They can go in. Hawaiian Homestead, I'm on the list. I'm on the top of the list. Hawaiian Homestead, they do a self-help building, which lessens their mortgage. Why not do that? Pull these guys in. Bring their morale back up because they just lost everything. They
Exactly.
can help their community build.
Exactly.
See, you guys think inside the box. We're thinking outside the box.
And she's 100% correct. You know, like I said, you know, being in Florida, and you know, after like hurricanes, and you know, I have a lot of friends who, you know, own their own construction businesses, and a lot of times they've always asked me, you know, whenever there was something that happened, like in Texas, Louisiana, other parts of Florida, you know, Alabama, Georgia, you know, they would pack up and go so they can help build. They would ask me, and I would, not that I never wanted to help anybody, but a lot of times you have to be very careful because of the insurance money that people are getting. And it was one of those things like, okay, you know, how do you go when you have all these contractors going? You know, then you got to compete and fight. And I was always, it never felt right to me to go to another state and have to compete with other contractors for somebody's insurance money. You know, so I was like, you know what? I'll do it a different way. Now, if they hit close to home, then that's where I'm staying. You know, I'm going to stay there and help my community. Why? If you know the demographics when it comes to, how can I say, the workforce in Hawaii, and they know, okay, why haven't you gone out and called, you know, whoever survived, all the men, you know, what companies do you own? Any roofing companies, any lumber companies, you know, and start bringing the community back together and bring up their morale like they do in Florida, in Texas, Louisiana, when every time there is, you know, a big catastrophe. And it's because they want to break their morale and they want to displace them. They want that land. By hook or by crook, they want that land. But let's continue.
It's not about money. It's not about money laundering. It's not about taking money from one program to the other so that you guys can collect the money.
There you go.
Take the money out of the limelight and put the people. The sad thing is, and I'm going to say this even though this might not directly deal with you folks, the officials on Maui have not yet thought about the people. They are thinking about backtracking, backpedaling, name gaming. They're blaming each other. So people are getting fired. People are resigning because the top of the line, the top of the chain, refuse to take responsibility. This is not about, oh, we're going to make a memorial. I wish he was here because I would tell him to his face.
Yeah, and I agree with that right there. Right away, they want to talk about making a memorial. It's like, look, what the people need right now, they don't need a memorial. You see, just like I was saying with 9/11, they took all this money, and I mean, they helped out but a small handful of people, and a lot of that money, donations and stuff like that, and they knew how to flip it around and hide it. Then they, you know, there was a controversy on who was the best architect to build, World Trade One all over again, and it had to be this big glamorous thing and all that. And it was like, you know, New York City didn't pay for that entirely. You know what I mean? So where did all that money come from? All this money that came in, and that's the sad part. And that's what's so vulgar about whenever there's, you know, a catastrophe, that so many people get involved and they say, well, I'm trying to do the right thing, but, you know, you got to pay me for my time. Here you come running into volunteer to help. I want to be here to help. And when money comes in, yeah, but our foundation, you know, we need like $13 million in order to, well, nobody asked you to come. Nobody asked you to open up your doors and then say this, now here's the receipt. If you're going to do it from the heart, like the rest of the people are doing it. You know, the ones that care, the ones on the ground. You know, the ones that were rescuing people from the water that day, and putting their own selves in danger. You know, and they're not understanding. And I'm not saying that I wish that it would have happened, but another thing that I have not seen: no firefighters, no EMS, no police officers lost their lives. I'm not saying that they should have, but usually when it's something big, you'll hear that, you know, that a rescue worker or something, you know, trying to do the right thing, you know, lost their life. Sacrificed their life. They lost it trying to help somebody. I have yet to hear of anybody lost as far as a civil service worker. Which means that what? It was mostly the natives, if not all the natives. Okay? So why is all this money being taken and being divided, and yet Biden comes and gives a measly $700 as if that's supposed to last forever? I mean, there's months, man, if I had $700, you know, extra for myself, I can do a little more. Never mind after losing everything. Possibly family also, loved ones. For him to come and say, here's $700. Meanwhile, it's business as usual in Ukraine with the billions of dollars. Here we are 2 weeks later, whatever the case is. Any more money to be given? Any more help? Without everybody sticking their hand in the cookie jar with all the extra donations that are coming in? If there were 13,000 people there, okay, we still don't know the numbers of all the fatalities. Let's just be conservative about it and say, from what it looks like right now, about 3,000 people have lost their life. That's 10,000 people. How hard is it to divide 46 million into 10,000? But they won't do that, because somebody wants to be in charge of all the money, and then they disperse it like she's saying. But let's continue.
China is not about making a memorial. I saw on so much social media that the banyan tree was more important than the people. It's a tree. Yes, it is something that's been there for decades, but guess what? In a couple more decades, another tree will be there for a couple decades.
There you go.
It's not about making a memorial for the people. You want to do a memorial? Help the people rebuild. Get up on you guys' feet and move. Listen to the people, because you know what? Our people have so much good ideas. And they're willing to put their hands back on there and help.
And it's true. You want to build a memorial, and people they haven't even started burying anybody, having memorials for the dead, you know, as far as the families. And I haven't seen it. Now, if somebody's seen it, please leave it in the comments. But I haven't seen nothing on the news. I haven't seen no funeral processions, nothing like that. These people are still dealing with all this. And right away you want to take the money and say, well, we want to build a memorial and we're going to give you some housing. Whoa, wait a minute. The housing is fine, but we want the housing back on our land. The memorial's fine, but we haven't even buried our dead yet. Okay? There they go, just collecting all the money and right away thinking that they're doing what's good for the people. No, you're not. You're doing what is in your best interest. Like she said, money laundering. They're going to take all that money. They're going to sub it out to the highest contractor. Okay? What kind of memorial are you going to build if the whole area has been cordoned off, where the regular locals are not allowed in? It's a media blackout in ground zero. You can't even fly a drone over the place. So where are you going to stick this memorial? It's not going to be a Maui anytime soon. Why are you even thinking about taking millions of dollars for a memorial when people don't even have a place to live, have no money to have a proper burial for their loved ones, their friends? I mean, this is just ridiculous with what's going on. And you have all these outside entities coming in, and I have to agree with her. As if they care. Do they really care? Is it photo ops? And I'll say it again, once again. Where is Kamala Harris? Joe Biden came for a few minutes, fell asleep during one of the conferences and memorials, which was despicable, and left. Gave him all the 700. They handed out more stimulus. They handed out more stimulus check money to illegal immigrants when those checks came out. If everybody remembers, and here are people that lost so much, and they're getting back so little, and it's like they're being pushed away. They're being forced off their land. But I'm gonna let it go right here. Like I said, I was gonna show you something that caught my attention, and I'll let you guys, look at the video and think for yourselves, and maybe leave a comment and tell me what you think. This right here was a video of two guys that were driving around, and I'm surprised. I've only seen one video on YouTube, this one right here. They titled it Escape from Lahaina, but I need you guys to pay attention. The guys start the timing on this at about 1 o'clock. The video, I'm starting it at about 3 o'clock. And when we get to the scene, there's something that I want you guys to pay attention to. And if it's nothing, then it's nothing. But if it's something, I want to explain what it is. But let's continue. Did you guys see that? They were turned around and sent towards the fire by police. They were turned around in circles and sent towards the fire by police. That was at 3:38.
Oh boy.
Look at how clear it is. Now you see the smoke rising. They were turned around in circles.
Fucking blow our way.
Oh my, could go anyway.
I wonder if those are in the houses already. I mean, to be honest with you, brother.
Now you can see all the cars going. You see the smoke coming on this side, but you see where the cars are going. Traffic looks pretty decent. I mean, small little fire here, smoke there. Now you can hear all the wind and everything. But there's one particular spot that caught my attention, and I didn't think about it last night when I seen the video, but then when I got up this morning, it dawned on me. I said, let me check out this video again, because I remember saying something in a couple of my last videos, but here we go.
Maui at its finest. Brush fire getting ready to happen.
Okay, now you see where they're driving. I had to backtrack on the video a little bit. You see where they said that the cops told them to turn around, and they wind up going into a dead-end area. They were just like, they were directing them back towards the fire. This is before they got into that situation. They're on the highway. Now pay close attention to the right side of the screen, okay? Listen to what they say and pay close attention to your right side of the screen. I'm going to try to keep stopping it, just so you can see, and maybe I'm seeing this the wrong way, but let's continue. Now he says here the fire jumps to Makai side of bypass. I hope I pronounced that right. Makai or Makai side of bypass.
Oh, look, it's
There we
already
go.
coming. We gotta.
Okay. Now you got to back up. Now, you see that little fire right there? Now it's a quick scene. I'm going to try to go back and try to pause it.
Oh, look, it's.
Okay. You see that little flame right there? All right. Listen to what he says. Now, they said that the fire jumped. It was their words. Watch this.
Already coming. We gotta go. Come on.
Oh shit, it's on both sides of the road.
Look how fast that fire burnt up. Now, I know they're going to say there's a lot of wind, but here's the thing. I'll try to play it just a little more and stop it.
Oh shit.
Look at the fire. Right there.
Look at that. It's fucking snap.
Okay. Does anybody see a fire on this side besides down, all the way down here? This is a concrete barrier. How in the world did that fire jump and start on that side? Does anybody see any flying debris? There's a fire truck. Why didn't the fire truck stop and turn off that flame? Okay, let's go a little more.
Oh shit.
Fire truck in the
Now
way.
everybody's turning.
Go, 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 go.
Run these fucking cars.
Okay, now I want to go back just a little bit. Something else I saw. Maybe it's me. He says the fire jumps.
Oh, look, it's already coming. We gotta go. Come on.
Oh
Okay.
shit, it's on both sides of the road. Oh shit.
Look
Now
at
let me
that.
just stop right there. See how that's dark right there? That little fire, if you look at the video yourself, you play it back, it was small. Within a second or two, it took all that. Now, it's true. People say, well, it's because of the wind blew it and it just made it all ignite. But if anybody noticed, there was a house right next door to it. That's pretty high, that grass. But he said, the guys in the car, or one of them said, the fire jumped. Jumped from where? Does anybody see any trees, any power lines, anything burning that could have made a spark to jump on this side, the fire? It's strange that your light poles are up. Okay, these are your light poles. I'm assuming these are your electrical power lines. But there's nothing down causing any sparks or anything like that. How did this fire start? How did it start? And as you see, that's a concrete barricade. I could understand if stuff was blowing across, but you would see it, embers and stuff like that, blowing on the cars, blowing on the sidewalk, all that. You don't see that. But I don't know. Anyway, that's what I got. I'll leave a link for this video in the description so you guys can see the whole thing. This is the only video I've seen from these guys. I haven't seen anybody else, put them out there. And I don't know. Leave me some comments. And I know my videos have been kind of long, but this stuff you can't just put out for 10 minutes. I mean, it's up to the people in Hawaii to, it's up to us for the people in Hawaii and Maui to try to help them. I hate using the term, but, peel those layers back from that onion, because this is getting worse and worse. And it's definitely getting worse for the people that need the help. So keep praying for them. And pray for those in Florida. There's a hurricane, that's hitting them, and on some of the islands. And as always, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.